Most people think gold sits at the top of the value food chain. Flashy, shiny, locked in vaults, and loved since the dawn of time. But the funny thing is, gold is kind of the popular kid who gets all the attention, even though plenty of quiet geniuses in the room are way more impressive. I'm Mike with List 25, and these are 25 natural substances more valuable than gold. 25. Rhodium. Rhodium has a way of turning metal markets into chaos. It looks like your everyday shiny metal at first glance, but it has a stubborn streak that makes it one of the toughest, hardest working materials on the planet. Its biggest job is sitting inside catalytic converters, where it helps clean up vehicle emissions. Because mining is unpredictable and supplies barely trickle in, the price can leap overnight like it has springs under it. There have been years where rhodium soared far above gold that collectors and investors were left shaking their heads. Car companies, jewelers, and tech firms fight over tiny quantities, and that constant tug of war keeps its value sky high. 24. Platinum. Platinum doesn't just sound fancy, it earned a reputation. It's dense, heavy, and shrugs off corrosion like it's nothing. You can heat it, freeze it, bury it, toss it in acid, and it'll still keep its cool. That reliability is why industries trust it for medical tools, electrical contacts, and chemical processing. Jewelers love it too because it stays bright without demanding much care. When supplies dip or demand spikes, platinum prices squeeze past gold and remind everyone who the real heavyweight champion is. Even though people associate it with luxury, it's actually more like the blue-collar hero of precious metals. Strong, steady, and always in demand. It's not rare in a mythical way, but the effort required to pull it from the earth keeps it priced like the serious material it is. 23. Palladium. Palladium is the quiet sibling in the platinum family that somehow became the star of the show. It's essential in electronics and catalytic converters, and when global industries leaned on it harder than expected, its price exploded. For a long time, it was the underdog. Then suddenly it sprinted past gold and refused to slow down. Every tech company wants it in their circuits, and every automaker needs it for emissions control, which puts constant pressure on supply. Mining regions are limited, political factors shake the market, and the metal itself doesn't give up easily. It's not flashy like diamond or extravagant like rare gems, but its usefulness makes it priceless. People don't hang palladium on necklaces, but they rely on it every day without realizing it. 22. Iridium. Iridium is so tough that it almost feels like it comes from another planet. It's absurdly hard, resistant to everything, and so rare that most of it probably came from ancient meteor impacts. If you want a metal that won't melt, warp, oxidize, or misbehave, well, this is your champion. The aerospace industry loves it for high temperature components. Scientists use it in equipment that needs to last forever, and engineers trust it when nothing else can take the punishment. Because it's so scarce and so difficult to work with, its price stays impressive. You can't exactly stroll into a mine and find a chunk of it sitting around waiting to be picked up. 21. Osmium. Osmium holds the crown for density. If you tried to lift a solid block the size of a small book, you would swear someone sneaked bricks inside. Its extreme density makes it valuable in niche tools, fountain pen tips, and specialized electronics. But the real catch is its rarity. It hides deep within platinum ore and takes painstaking work to isolate. People sometimes talk about osmium crystals as the next big thing in high-value assets, though the jury is still out on that future. Regardless, the metal itself has a mystique because it's both incredibly difficult to obtain and awkward to store safely. Its unique properties and limited supply put it above gold in price when markets shift. 20. Scandium. Scandium doesn't get nearly the attention it deserves. It's the secret ingredient behind some of the strongest and lightest aerospace alloys on the planet. Add a tiny bit to aluminum and suddenly you get a material that's tough enough for aircraft, race cars, and high-tech sports gear. The catch is that pure scandium is agonizingly hard to source. Most deposits are tiny, scattered, and expensive to isolate. There's a reason you don't see scandium jewelry or household objects. It's simply too valuable to waste on decoration. Countries treat it like a strategic resource because it can change the way industries design next-generation equipment. 19. Lutetium. Lutetium is the rare earth element that feels like it drew the short straw in popularity. It doesn't glow, sparkle, or grab attention, but it quietly powers several high-tech devices. From PET scan detectors to specialized catalysts, lutetium shows up where precision matters. Mining it is tough because it usually is mixed in tiny amounts inside other rare earth elements, and separating it requires serious effort. That scarcity pushes its price well beyond gold, even though most people have never heard of it. 18. Taaffeite. Taaffeite is the gemstone that was discovered by pure accident. A jeweler noticed a gem that didn't behave like a spinel and realized he was looking at something almost no one had ever seen. Today, it's recognized as one of the rarest gems on Earth. Its colors range from soft lavender to deep purple, and the supply is so tiny that even seasoned collectors may never hold one. Because it's more than 1,000,000 times rarer than diamond, the price per carat can soar into staggering territory. 17. Painite. Painite once held the title of the rarest mineral on the planet. For decades, only a few small crystals existed, and collectors considered it almost mythical. Although more deposits have been found, the supply is still tiny compared to common gems. It has a reddish-brown coloration with a subtle sparkle that makes it unmistakable. Scientists love it because it offers a look into unusual geological processes, while collectors chase it simply because owning one feels like owning a piece of Earth's secret stash. Prices can reach levels that leave gold far behind, especially for flawless pieces. 16. Red Beryl. Red Beryl, sometimes called Bixbite, is so rare that for every 150,000 diamonds pulled from the ground, one red beryl might appear. Its vivid raspberry red color makes it instantly memorable, but what makes it valuable is the tiny handful of locations on Earth where it forms. Most stones are too small or too cloudy to cut, so gem-grade pieces leap far ahead of gold in price. Jewelers admire it, collectors hunt for it, and geologists treat it like a treasure map clue. When someone wears Red Beryl, they're not showing off wealth as much as they're showing off luck. Finding one in nature is almost like winning a geological lottery. 15. Alexandrite. Alexandrite feels like a magic trick trapped in a gemstone. It shifts color depending on the light, showing green in daylight and red or purple under incandescent bulbs. High-clarity stones are extremely rare, and the market for them is full of passionate collectors who love the drama of their color change. Because mining sources have dwindled over the years, prices continue to rise. When you see a top-grade Alexandrite, it almost doesn't look real, because the change is so bold. It's the kind of gem that makes people double take and lean in closer. 14. Benitoite. Benitoite is California's official gemstone, and for good reason. Its bright sapphire blue color looks electric under the right lighting. The twist is that true gem quality benitoite comes almost entirely from a single location. When a whole mineral species depends on one patch of land, scarcity becomes inevitable. The best stones are crisp, bright, and beautifully cut, and collectors chase them with enthusiasm. Because supply is limited and no major new deposits have appeared, prices regularly climb above gold. Benitoite is one of those gems that feels local, yet global. A treasure tied to a unique place. 13. Black Opal. Black Opal has this moody, electric personality that makes every other opal look like it needs a pep talk. When the light hits just right, the colors don't just shimmer, they jump out like a surprise party. Part of the reason it's so valuable is that it's also mainly found in one place, Lightning Ridge in Australia. That scarcity boosts its appeal, but the real magic is in how unpredictable each stone is. No two pieces behave the same way, and collectors love that. Some stones look like swirling galaxies, others like they're hiding fireworks under the surface. A top-quality black opal can sell for more than diamonds of the same size. 12. Grandidierite. Grandidierite sits in that sweet spot where rarity and beauty meet, and they shake hands like old friends. If you've ever seen one, you know the color looks almost unreal. It has this bluish-green depth that shifts depending on the angle, giving the stone an underwater glow. High-quality ones are so rare that most people go their entire lives without holding one. It was first discovered in Madagascar, and even there, it does not show up often. The demand is bigger than the supply, which keeps the value climbing. Jewelers scramble for any pieces with high clarity. A good specimen can sell for thousands per carat, easily passing gold. 11. Musgravite. Musgravite is one of those minerals that sounds made up until someone actually pulls a crystal out of the ground. It was first found in Australia's Musgrave Range, which is how it got the name. But since then, only tiny amounts have surfaced worldwide. I'm talking about a handful of gem-quality pieces per year. Maybe. When something is that scarce, every discovery feels like hitting a cosmic lottery. Its color changes from smoky gray to purple, and the clarity can be surprisingly good when you manage to find a solid piece. Because it's almost never available, collectors and gem buyers get into bidding wars over anything remotely high quality. Prices easily rise past gold, and sometimes even past top-grade diamonds. 10. Jadeite. Jadeite has a long history, especially in East Asian art and culture, where it's treated not just as a gemstone, but as a symbol of status, protection, and luck. Imperial jade, the highest quality, has a vivid, almost glowing green that looks like it's lit from inside. That color is extremely hard to find naturally, which is why collectors chase it with the same energy people have when hunting limited edition sneakers. Prices for top-tier pieces can blast past gold, diamonds, and even, sometimes, rubies. The market for jadeite is intense, and high-end auctions have seen pieces reach jaw-dropping totals. 9. Saffron. Saffron is basically the diva of the spice world. It takes roughly 75,000 crocus flowers to create 1 pound of it, which is wild when you think about the time and labor that it requires. Each flower only gives you 3 tiny red stigmas, and workers usually pick them by hand. No shortcuts. The smell is rich and warm, almost like honey mixed with something floral and earthy. Chefs use it to transform dishes into something luxurious. It colors, flavors, and perfumes food all at once. Because the harvest process is slow and because it can't be mass-produced by machines without damaging it, prices climb every season. In some years, saffron sells at a higher price per gram than gold. 8. Vanilla. Real vanilla, the good stuff, is nothing like the bottled extract most people use. This is the kind that comes from long, carefully cured beans, and each one holds a powerful aroma. It grows mainly in places like Madagascar, where the climate and soil help bring out that signature sweetness. The catch is that vanilla orchids are fussy. They only bloom for a short window each year, and pollination has to be done by hand. That makes the process slow and extremely vulnerable to storms, bad seasons, or anything that disrupts the crop. When production dips, prices shoot upward. In some years, vanilla beans have rivaled the price of silver and edged close to gold. Chefs and makers of luxury perfumes chase it because nothing else tastes or smells quite like true natural vanilla. 7. Agarwood. Agarwood forms when certain trees get infected by a specific mold, and the tree reacts by producing a dark aromatic resin. Normally, infection sounds like a bad thing, but here, it creates one of the most valuable fragrance materials on Earth. Oud oil is legendary in the Middle East and parts of Asia. It smells deep, warm, smoky, and slightly sweet, and a tiny amount can carry a room. The rarity comes from how inconsistently nature creates it. Not every tree will produce it, and those that do need decades to mature. Because of overharvesting and limited supply, prices have soared. Pure oud oil can sell for more than gold per gram. 6. Ambergris. Ambergris is strange, rare, and oddly charming. It comes from sperm whales, formed in their digestive systems, then later drifts across oceans until someone finds it washed ashore. Fresh ambergris smells sharp and marine, but as it ages, it softens into something warm, sweet, and leathery. Perfumers treat it like treasure because it stabilizes scents and makes them last longer. The best part is that no one can predict when or where it'll appear. Some people search their entire lives and never find a piece. Some people search their entire lives and never find a piece, while others stumble onto one by accident during a beach walk. A good quality chunk can be worth thousands, sometimes much more. It's one of those bizarre natural materials that feel mythical until you realize it's completely real. 5. White truffles. White truffles are the culinary equivalent of finding a secret level in a video game. They grow underground, usually near oak or hazelnut trees, and trained dogs or pigs sniff them out. They only appear in certain regions of Italy and a few other places, and even then the harvest is unpredictable. A bad season means the price skyrockets. Their aroma is unmistakable, strong enough that a few shavings can transform an entire dish. Chefs treat them like gold, literally. Some years, per pound prices have gone far beyond what gold sells for. Part of the charm is how fleeting they are. The season is short, the supply uncertain, and the flavor unlike anything else. 4. Matsutake Mushrooms. Matsutake mushrooms are beloved in Japan, partly for their distinct aroma, which is piney, spicy, and earthy all at once. They grow in specific forests, usually in harmony with particular types of trees, and cannot be widely cultivated. That is a big problem. As habitats shrink and pests increase, Matsutake populations drop. When the harvest is weak, prices can rocket past gold. These mushrooms are almost always gifts, served on special occasions, or used in dishes where their flavor can stand alone. Because they resist modern farming techniques, they stay wild and unpredictable. This makes every year's supply a guessing game. Restaurants treat them like seasonal jewels, and people wait all year just to taste them fresh. 3. Irrawaddy Dolphin Pearl. Irrawaddy dolphin pearls are among the rarest natural pearls in the world. They grow inside some types of freshwater mussels that live in rivers of Southeast Asia, notably around the Irrawaddy River, hence the name. What makes them unique is their natural shape and soft glowing luster. They're never perfectly round, which oddly adds to their charm. The production is almost non-existent now because the dolphins and their ecosystems are under pressure. With numbers shrinking, opportunities to find these pearls have dropped to nearly zero. Each one carries a sense of history and rarity that collectors appreciate. 2. Meteorites. Meteorites are pieces of rock or metal that have traveled through space before landing on Earth, which already makes them cool. But some are so rare, they become serious collector's items. Palladium, for example, contain olivine crystals trapped inside a metal matrix, giving them an alien, almost jewel-like look. Meteorites that have been confirmed to have come from the moon or Mars are even more valuable. Scientists can tell what they are by their chemical makeup, and once they're sure, they're very valuable to both researchers and collectors. These things can cost a lot more than gold per gram. They are literally fragments of other worlds. Holding one feels like you're touching something that should be locked behind museum glass. 1. Antimatter. Antimatter is on a completely different level from everything else on this list. It is the most expensive substance humanity has ever attempted to create. Naturally, it appears in tiny amounts during cosmic events and thunderstorms, but capturing it is nearly impossible. Producing it in a lab is even harder. It takes massive energy, advanced equipment, and extremely careful containment. A single gram would cost billions. The irony is that it's both unimaginably powerful and ridiculously fragile. Touch normal matter and it annihilates instantly. Scientists work with microscopic quantities, and even those are a challenge. While you'll never see antimatter on a shelf next to gemstones or spices, its value is unmatched. It represents the extreme limit of rarity, difficulty, and scientific ambition. And that's a wrap. But real quick, forget value. Which of these substances would you want to own based on cool factor alone? Let me know in the comments. And speaking of substances, if you want to know about the world's most dangerous ones, well, check out this video here. And as always, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, click that notification bell so you don't miss out on any new content, and I'll catch you in the next one. I'm off to go find some rare truffle diamonds. That's a thing.